Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for holding this hearing. I think the subcommittee is doing a good service for our efforts as it relates to the Bureau and reclamation projects around the country and the need to provide the support for the maintenance as well as other costs that are involved with the infrastructure. I think my previous colleague put the finger on it in terms of the monies that traditionally have been provided for this purpose and the accounting functioning that they do today, where these monies, in my view, should be going for the maintenance and for the costs of rehabilitation efforts, and because of the accounting purpose for the budget, the monies are being diverted. So I concur with my colleague in that, although I would say as it relates to the deficit, the agreement that's been reached that I think was a factor of other issues, and I won't talk about the $2 trillion tax deficit that has been created as a result of another measure we passed a year ago. Having said that, the revenues that come in from some of these projects, for example, the Friant water users pay for a project not out of the general fund, but as a result of a project that was authorized by Congress. A lot of these projects get paid for. Those monies go back for the original purpose for the outline construction, right?
To the best of my knowledge, it rolls back in. It depends on what the authorization says.
Right, and it's different with every different project.
Correct. We do not have a lot of organic language.
Right, but the point is that in many of these projects have been paid for, right? As a result of those mechanisms?
I would say, I don't have the facts in front of me, but I'd say that's probably a fair statement, that it's used as a revolving fund and it stays within the project use.
Well, it seems to me that, and I think there's precedent, I know you don't make the decisions, but in the sense where Contra Costa Water District paid for their facility to transfer water, the facility was turned over in terms of title and deed to the local water district. Is that not true?
I don't know the specifics on that one, but if it was a title transfer, not just a transfer work where we own, so I'm assuming you mean they took title of it.
Right.
Okay, I don't have the specifics.
But there is precedent that you're aware of that.
Yeah, that's happened.
Yeah,
and
because I think
something we do try to pursue.
Both Congressman Costa and I think some of our other colleagues have an interest as it relates to the Friant-Kern Canal. I mean, what that does is allows the local water district to pay for some of the maintenance costs because they own it, they can borrow against it, and it's a much smarter way to continue to do rehab and maintenance. For the San Luis Reservoir, otherwise known as the BF-Sisk Dam in my district, there is a authorization to provide dam safety modification and other improvement. The funding, to your knowledge, is that there?
I don't know that. That's on the operational side, so
But it's been authorized, no?
It's been well, I'm assuming it has been authorized.
Okay, could not these funds that are being diverted for the purpose of covering our deficit be used for the maintenance for earthquake safety and possibly to enlarge the capacity of that reservoir?
If Congress so chooses to do that, I'm sure that we would then be willing to do it.
So do you make an evaluation, or is that in another department, as to how all these projects are weighted in terms of the criteria for rehabilitation and maintenance? As the chairman said, whether it be for dam safety or for other purposes for which these projects were intended?
So we work every year, we look at our deferred maintenance, whether it's modifications to dams due to safety issues, or it's a rewind of generators at some of our power plants, or new SCADA systems.
Well, you have a power plant there, you have 5 pumps in the Jones pumping plant, and I've been told that in terms of the need to update those generators, your deferred maintenance is behind the timeline. How do you prioritize those?
We normally prioritize them on a risk-based basis, and I don't have the details, but our asset management office, they work with the technical service center.
My time's expired, but Mr. Chairman, it seems to me it'd be important for this subcommittee to get some handle on how the maintenance and the deferral is programmed, and have a list of projects, not just in California, which interest you and I, but have a list of projects throughout the country, because clearly, you know, we know what's kind of in our areas, in our regions, but I don't know what the sense of prioritization that you have here, and as we're looking to try to deal with scarce funding, wherever it may be, for the Bureau, we'd like to be able to weigh in and try to protect those funds.
And that's been a
certainly
challenge, and we'd be willing to provide that data.